Alex Jones runs InfoWars, which is a site that is dedicated to spreading shit upon the American ears and eyes, attacking the families of the Sandy Hook victims. And if you guys don't know, Sandy Hook was a mass shooting that happened in 2012. This is to try to figure out how much he should be paying the people who he wronged. And I think they explained that.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Mark Bankston. And I'm
Yeah,
here
baby.
to talk to you about 2 rules first. Well, we would if we were clicking, wouldn't we?
Sorry.
Let's see if we can get that going. Not a problem. Mark Bankston. I first want to talk to you about 2 rules.
2 rules.
This is the first rule. You can't recklessly tell lies about someone. You can't do it. If you do it, and you cause someone damage, you're responsible. This is the second rule. You can't recklessly tell lies about something important to someone. In this case, like the death of their child. If you do that, you know you're going to cause them harm. You're responsible for that. You're here because those rules are broken. And they were broken in a way in which the world has never seen before. InfoWars is one of the nation's most popular and widely watched media networks. Now, some of you may be forgiven for not knowing about Mr. Jones or the fact that InfoWars is one of our widely watched news networks. And the reason is because we now live in a world of bubbles. We now live in a world where we all watch different things. We don't all just turn on the news on one of the 3 major networks and watch it back in like the 1950s. We now live in a world where significant parts of this country get their information from things that other parts of the country would never even see. And over the last decade, Mr. Jones has become incredibly influential.
Let's hear the defense.
All right, you may proceed.
May it please the court.
Yes.
We heard a lot about rules at the beginning of the personal injury lawyer's presentation. I'm going to tell you the most important rule I learned as a young lawyer.
The personal injury lawyer, go fuck yourself. He shit it all over you.
In case anybody can't read my handwriting, that says do not lie to the jury
Okay.
if you hope to get the verdict that you've requested. What we heard was a conspiracy of lies. The truth is going to come from that witness stand. It's going to be in the documents, the records, the evidence.
And what is that truth?
My mentor, who I'm lucky enough to have sitting at this table with me,
Wait a second. Is this?
told me a long time ago to keep track of the other side's opening statement and write down their misrepresentations. So you can come back to the jury in closing argument and show they haven't kept their word. You see, a lawyer's opening statement is not like a politician's speech. And I'm honored to represent him, not because I agree with everything that he says, but because I believe in his right to say.
Oh yeah.
And I believe in every American's right to choose what they watch and what they listen to and what. Mr. Bankston's first lie came at 9:37 a.m. when he said that InfoWars was one of the most significant networks in the USA. In fact, the evidence will show that in 2018, InfoWars was completely deplatformed. You will not find InfoWars on YouTube.
Bullshit.
You will not find InfoWars on Facebook. You will not find InfoWars
Well, now,
on
yeah.
Twitter. You will find it absolutely nowhere. Mr. Jones has been canceled, punished for statements that are related to this case. Statements we don't dispute were wrong. I'm going to watch the videos. The videos are the most important part of this. Not cherry picking little snippets, but actually watching the videos. And I hope you hold the plaintiffs accountable. You're going to hear that Alex Jones was concerned about the government's response on the day of Sandy Hook.
It was exactly what fuck. It's exactly what you were saying, homie. Glazed. It was exactly what you were saying. The first lawyer comes out with a PowerPoint. He fucking looks like he prepared for shit. He had lines. Mark is killing the game. He came through with a strong beard, just telling all kinds of truths out of that mouth. And then you pull up with homie here. He's got the fucking comb back. He looks like if this dude showed up as your public defender, you're doing some fucking time, my guy. Look at his fucking beard. There's nothing there. Look at that smooth ass face. You're doing some fucking time. Bro, you could have all if this is your public, if he shows up to you with that fucking hair and he's sweating and shit like he's got 9 other cases, you're doing at least 15.
The defense would call Alex E. Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, come stand in front of me, please. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm, under penalty of perjury, that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Come have a seat.
Or things like that, and I would lose a bunch of stations, and I would gain more stations. But talk radio was mainly conservative.
Alex Jones likes to put on the paradigm that he's above the right-left paradigm. He's trying to be in the middle, right? I'm doing another herbal hand thing. He's trying to be in the middle. But he is so far to the right that you can't even fucking see him. The middle is here. He's fucking here. He's over here where my fucking water is. He's fucking all the way over here. But
165,230,000.
So what was the point of that?
Can you tell the members of the jury how much of that represents profit versus just gross revenue?
It depends on what.
Did you see that? I don't know either. But like, if I was if I owned as many businesses and shell corporations as him, I would know the answer. But
how
look,
much of that represents profit versus just gross revenue?
he's like, fuck.
It depends on what product it is. Some products take 20%.
The truth is, you and your company want the world to believe that this judge is rigging this court proceeding to make sure that a script, a literal script, is being followed. That's what you want the world to believe, right?
Aren't I barred from talking about this?
I'm asking you the question, Mr. Jones. Answer
The
the
way court works is you answer a question until there's an objection.
Let me
Okay,
ask you the question again, Mr. Jones. Make sure you understand it very clearly.
Am I barred from talking about
You
this?
and your company want the world to believe that this judge is rigging this court proceeding so that a script, and I mean a literal script, is being followed. That's what you want the world to believe. That's what InfoWars wants.
I believe when you're given a court order that you cannot say you're innocent, that's not America, and the court order's right there on the table. I've been told I can't say I'm innocent.
So you need to answer the question that is asked.
He's so worried.
Yes or
He's
no?
so
That's the
scared.
one.
You see, they're bringing up the shit from today. He's not expecting them to bring the shit from a couple hours ago. My boy Mark is coming with that fire.
You want the world to believe.
No, I believe the jury's real,
Okay.
and I believe that I'm innocent until proven guilty, and I believe a jury should decide my guilt.
Your Honor, at this time, we'd like to offer a clip from InfoWars on Friday for the purposes of impeachment in which those exact words were said.
All right?
Let's go ahead and play that.
So that's why the judge is rigging a court proceeding to make sure that the script, this is literally a script gets told in a certain way for future audiences.
That man's name is Robert Barnes?
Yes.
Okay. That's InfoWars?
Yes.
He was hosting your show on the 29th?
Yes.
Well, you were on the show for part of the 29th, correct? You were in the courtroom part of it, on your show part of it.
I believe so.
You say, Mr. Jones, that you're taking these court proceedings seriously. You're approaching them in good faith. But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge on fire, haven't you?
Objection compound, Your Honor.
No.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, you may, Your Honor.
Plaintiff's 129 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Damn.
Can you display 129? Do you have the ability?
Let's display it, please.
The person on
Oh, bruh. Oh, man. Do you have a picture of the judge? That's the justice.
the left of this image is our judge, correct?
Yes.
The person on the right is another judge you don't like, right?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things you've been talking about a lot recently on your show, even within the past couple months, is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
Sure, if that's a yes, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And on Thursday, you and InfoWars started connecting those allegations to our judge, didn't you?
No.
In fact, Mr. Jones, you're telling the world not to believe what happens in this courtroom.
Commission got caught doing it a lot. There's been a lot of that here.
I'm not asking you that, Mr. Jones. I'm asking you, you're telling the world not to believe what's happened in this trial because this judge is involved with CPS, who is working with child traffickers and pedophilia, correct?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we would like to show a clip from Mr. Jones' show on...
Bitch! Why do you even answer? Why do you even answer? He has the clips, bruh. Why do you even...
Because this judge is involved with CPS, who is working with child traffickers and pedophilia, correct?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we would like to show a clip from Mr. Jones' show on Thursday where those words are said.
For impeachment
For
purposes.
impeachment purposes, yes, Your Honor.
You can't let him play that fucking tape. You can't fucking let him play that tape, Junior. You can't do it.
We'd argue this is impeachment on a collateral matter, not appropriate to get into improper impeachment.
Well, those are two different objections and a statement, so.
Judge Maya Gamble comes from CPS, who has been exposed for human trafficking and working with pedophiles.
That's what you mean when you say you're taking this seriously.
I take this as serious as cancer.
You remember that?
Well, that's deplatforming. Because
I the objection non-responsive. Do you remember what I was saying?
Just answer the question,
No, I don't.
Mr. Jones. Thank you.
See this email right here? You've seen it a few times in this lawsuit, haven't you?
yes.
This is Mr. Watson warning you, not in June 2015, not in March 2015, but he is warning you in December 2015 that this Sandy Hook stuff is killing us, correct?
Yes.
I think we can surmise pretty easily from this email that in July 2015 we did not put a ban on Sandy Hook. And in fact, there are videos that we don't have that Mr. Watson is talking about. Do you agree with me?
I mean, I don't know that, and that's us trying to not talk about it.
Is that what that is? That's you trying to... I think that's Mr. Watson telling you, Mr. Jones, a warning. Right?
No. I went...
So, this email, along with every other email and every other text message that he brings up, is because his lawyer, Alex Jones's defense lawyer, accidentally sent the entire contents of Alex Jones' phone plaintiff attorney and said, is this privileged information? And he could have said, yeah, this is privileged information. Don't use any of that. But instead, I don't know why, whether it was because he was embarrassed or whether because he's trying to sabotage Alex Jones. He said no, it's not privileged. so you can use it. And that's what they're doing.
Seen this text message. I guess you guys got Paul's. My phone didn't save them. So that's fine.
Your phone didn't save the second.
I told you guys I gave it to the lawyers and said they drained the phone, they didn't find that stuff. I don't know how my phone's.
You gave it to the lawyers. They were supposed to find it, so that's what
you guys have all this stuff and you say we didn't give anything. It's
Mr.
ridiculous.
Jones, you know how an iPhone works, right?
Do you see? You guys say you have all this stuff, but you say we didn't give you anything. You give evidence in discovery. You don't give evidence just in the middle of the fucking trial when you want to get it done. No, you give evidence in discovery. Okay? You did not comply with discovery. So that is why your trial was default. Okay? You provide your evidence for defense during discovery.
You've had iPhone text messaging for several years now.
Yeah.
What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those? Whose phone is this taken from?
I don't know whose phone's taken from. I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take the stuff off.
Can I have you look in the very bottom below the very bottom left corner? Is that your phone number?
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever.
So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Oh.
Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Do you know where I got this? This is coming. This is so awesome. All right. I need to pay attention to Alex Jones's face.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed
So
up
long ago.
and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps it as privileged or protected in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have a text message about saying it.
See, I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
no, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over. Just
But just
And
answer
you
the
said,
question.
you said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah. Well, of course, I mean, that's why you got it.
Good morning.
Morning.
We filed an emergency motion for protection this morning. I want to outline a little bit of the facts behind that. A couple weeks before trial, a file transfer link was sent to the plaintiff's attorneys, specifically Mr. Bankston. That link linked up a lot of files that shouldn't have been connected.
So he's right now trying to cover up for the fact that he sent an entire digital copy of Alex Jones's phone to fucking the plaintiff's attorneys. And I guess this is his excuse, some sort of link.
Do it. Mr. Bankston immediately recognized that the files contained therein were confidential, attorney-client privilege, and contained medical records of people, a whole variety of things that should not be turned over. And he pointed that out to me, and I responded to him. He said, I take it this was sent in error. And I responded to him and I said, it has been sent in error. Please disregard the link. I will work on preparing a new one. Very, very concerning to us. And that's why we are asking for the relief that they return all the documents, that they destroy any copies that they have. Another thing that's concerning, and I have to, that is grounds for a mistrial, Your Honor. And that's why, in addition to the request that they delete the information from their servers and delete the link, we're also requesting at this point, unfortunately, a mistrial.
Okay. Mr. Mason?
Sure. Let's correct all of that, Your Honor.
All right, this is gonna be fucking awesome. So right now, the defense attorney just said, all the stuff I sent over to him, I told him he wasn't supposed to use, and he used it anyway. Mistrial. I want a mistrial. In fact, the plaintiffs seem like they want a mistrial. I don't really want a mistrial, but I'm requesting one because they fucked up so hard. No, that's not how it works, okay? Mark, a.k.a. Fat White Jesus, shut his bitch ass down, please.
First, let me just go through the facts that they were said. This link of materials was sent to me. It was sent to Mr. Ogden. It was sent by Mr. Reynol's legal assistant, also to Mr. Reynal, also to Mr. Magliola. Okay? As I informed Mr. Reynal, we started downloading those materials. I was busy on trial prep. I told my paralegal, get these on our server, download everything there. All right. A little bit after he gets this stuff downloading, it's like, wait a second, this file that we now have on our server has clogged up our entire server. It's like 300 gigs. What's going on? So at that point, which again, materials in my possession.
300.
At that point, I notified Mr. Reynal, and under Rule 193.3 about inadvertent production. All right. It's funny to me that in this motion, Mr. Reynal actually blocked quotes 130, 193.3 so I know he knows how to read it. What he still hasn't done, at the moment he is up here requesting a mistrial, is he hasn't followed the rule. Even today, late has not followed the rule. The rule requires that production is, any privilege is waived. Any privilege is waived if within 10 days, or if you order a shorter time, but within 10 days, the producing party of when they actually discover, so 10 days from the moment I told them, that they identify specifically the material or information produced and state the privilege asserted. I have not heard any privilege. I have never heard a privilege asserted over any document. I certainly have not had specific documents identified and what their privilege is. If that happens, and he does identify specific material or information, we must return the specified material information while the court rules on the privilege. None of that has happened.
So he's saying that there is a process to getting that information back, right? Within 10 days of him letting the other attorney know, hey, you sent me privileged information, you weren't supposed to send this. You have 10 days in order to say, oh shit, I'm gonna verify what exactly is privileged, what that privilege is. Because you can't just say something is privileged. It's like, okay, why is this protected? Well, this has to do with my health and it has nothing to do with the lawsuit. Okay, sure, that's protected. Why is this protected? Well, this is how much money I make and how much. Oh, no, that's not protected. Come on, bring that over. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to identify what is protected and how it is protected before. You can't just say, all right, send me the shit back and I'll send it back to you. No, you have to say specifically what's protected, what's not protected, why is it protected. And he did not do that. Instead, he comes to court and is like, that's not fair that you use the items that I gave you against me. Well, after 10 days, I can use them, according to the law. So, yeah, those 10 days are up, bruh. They were up 2 days ago.
What's interesting to me is this is not the first time that materials like this have been inadvertently produced in this case. As you may remember from prior hearings, Mr. Barnes inadvertently produced materials.
Mr. Jones said that there was an intimate photo of his wife on the phone. That I can also confirm that's true. And I normally wouldn't talk about that in public, but there is a public interest angle into this, is that I'm a little concerned about it, because that intimate photo was sent to Roger Stone. And I don't know if that was consensual. And if it wasn't consensual, Mrs. Wolf-Jones should know about that, and there might be something that needs to be done about that. Then again, it could be
He sent a nude pic of his wife to rat fucker extraordinaire, Roger Stone. Do you guys not know who Roger Stone is? Let me show you who fucking Roger Stone is.
Insulting me, this will be over. You can run back to the judge like a little.
Yep.
Better do it quick.
Before you're disbarred.
Stop. Mr. Clayton,
no further questions.
Here we go. So this is the punitive damages for Alex Jones.
Seal, please. Thank you.
But keep in mind that punitive damages are capped at $750K. So they can give you $1 million, $1 billion, trillion in punitive damages, and you only have to pay $700. Yeah. Also, the jury's not allowed to know about that because that could affect the compensatory damages. That could affect how much money they give to the for compensatory damages, right? Because if they know that punitive damages are capped, that could make them say, okay, let's do $100 million in compensatory damages because he's only going to pay $750 for, Anyway, let's get into what he has to pay. Well, he's not going to pay, but you know what I mean.
$4,200,000. Question number 2, $20,500,000. Question number 3, $20,500,000. All right. This question is addressed to my jury. Is this your verdict? So say each and all of you. Yes. Thank you very much. Would the attorneys like to examine the verdict?
No.
All right. Then I'm going to accept this as a verdict of the jury and order that the clerk enter it upon the minutes of the court. All right.
Man, Alex Jones opened his big fat fucking mouth. And he opened his mouth a lot.
Robert Parker's sitting right here. He's real, isn't he?
Yes.
And for years, you put a target on his back, didn't you?
Objection is a form of that, Judge.
Well, I mean,
Look at fucking Renault. Bro, look at Renault. Renault is there.
Objection is a form of that, Judge.
That's the lawyer from the last trial that took his shit in the bed.
well, I mean,
Didn't you?
I've said his name. It's true. I haven't said other people's names because they are.
You put a target on his back just like you did every single parent and loved one sitting here, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
That's argumentative. There is speculative. There is no foundation, and it's inappropriate.
Let's move on.
These are real people. You know that, Mr. Jones?
I think you just told them to move on.
Just like all the Iraqis, but you liberals kill and love. It's just, you're unbelievable. You switch on emotions on and off when you want. It's just ambulance chasing.
Why don't you show a little respect?
Objection, Judge. I think that you get what you give in this court. Objection.
You have families in this courtroom here that lost children.
So Alex's new judge, I think new lawyer, Norm Pattis, is not going to get the Renault treatment. He's not going to get ran over in court. So he's objecting, and he's fighting back hard.
Sisters, wives, moms.
Is this a struggle session? Are we in China? I've already said I'm sorry hundreds of times, and I'm done saying I'm sorry. I didn't progenerate this. I wasn't the first person to say it. American gun owners didn't like being blamed for this, as the left did, so we rejected it mentally and said it must not be true. But I legitimately thought it might have been staged, and I stand by that, and I don't apologize for it.
And don't apologize, Mr. Jones. Please don't apologize.
No, I've already apologized to the parents over and over again.
We know
I don't apologize to you.
Objection.
Don't apologize to you.
You're going to do it again.
Objection, Judge.
Aren't you?
Objection. Objection. Argumentative.
Don't apologize to you.
Well, it's hard for me to get a word in edgewise. I can't rule on your attorney's objection.
Understand.
He's talking and he may have legitimate.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Hey, you're trying.
Because there's going to be another Robbie Parker, isn't there?
Objection, Judge.
No.
Sustained.
There's going to be another.
Objection.
Can I get my questions out?
When it's the same form, second time, the inference is it's going to also be objection.
I didn't say Parkland was fake. I didn't say Uvalde was. And no, okay, so that's a fact.
What did you say about Roy?
Objection.
Before this?
What did you say about Roy?
Excuse me, are you objecting to
I believe it was a real shooting, but he was in a mind control program, just like Theodore Kaczynski. Sorry.
Are you objecting to your client's answers, Attorney
Oh,
Pattis?
both the answers and the questions. This is a courtroom.
Why'd you delete
So here's
Warzone?
what I'll tell you, Mr.
Oh,
Okay.
With the beta. We're playing beta today.
You're in a court of law. You have to follow the rules as these attorneys do who are officers of the court, and they are accountable to me, and I will deal with them. However, while there were media in the room, this is not a press conference. This is clearly not your show.
He thinks this is a press conference. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. Alex is fucking getting this out of me.
Whether you like it or not, working over your client, you just have to stop. Okay, so let's get the next question and let's move forward.
Bro. Bro, this Alex Jones lawyer, Norm Pattis, is not fucking around. That's what's giving Alex the balls. Ray Nalta's in there taking notes.
Mr. Jones, there's going to be another mass shooting.
Objection.
One word basis, hearsay, irrelevant, what is it? One word.
Argumentative.
Overruled.
There's going to be another mass shooting.
Are you saying I'm going to shoot people? Like, how do I know there's been another mass shooting? Like, it's my fault. People think I killed the kids. That's my answer to you.
Let me see if I can ask my question again.
Sure.
You expect there's going to be another mass shooting, don't you?
There probably will be.
And when there is, you're going to be ready to pounce, right?
Objection.
No.
No?
Relevance.
All right. Why don't you look at your screen there, sir? Look at Exhibit 76, Mr. Jones, please.
Did you say 76?
Yes.
Is that info exhibit?
This is your homepage, right? Infowars.com?
Yes.
This is Mikhail Gorbachev, right? He died about 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yes.
Why don't you pull up the right side of the page? A little bit bigger, please, just the part survey there. And you're asking your audience, that comes to your page, to take a survey, aren't you? Correct?
Yes, I didn't write the survey, but...
And the survey is,
good questions.
what would be the most likely deep state false flag ahead of the midterms, right?
Yes.
And so when the next mass shooting comes, you're already conditioning your audience to believe that it's a fake staged event, aren't you?
Objection.
Well, false flag doesn't necessarily mean staged. It means they let it happen.
How many people responded to this survey, sir?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at it.
But there's going to be a mass shooting. And you're inviting your audience, even now, even after all this, to suspect that the next people, the next Robbie Parker, the next family are actors too.
Objection. Argumentative.
No, I didn't say Uvalde was staged. I said the police did over 77 minutes. And then the others either power grid collapse, terror plot, bombing, COVID.
Right. Could
The
be
U.S.
any of
government
these.
said the Russians.
It could be any of these, right, Mr. Jones?
The U.S. government said the Russians staged a false flag to start the Ukraine war, and I believe it.
Right, Your Honor.
Yeah, they're real.
So, Mr. Jones, whenever the next mass shooting strikes, we can be pretty sure what you're going to do, right?
Objection. Speculative.
Yes or no?
I didn't write that poll, but I stand behind it. I've never seen that poll, but I think that's a reasonable question.
I'm done, Your Honor.
All right, so we are going to end here for the day.
You encourage your audience to give you money is in cryptocurrency donations, right?
Yes.
And I think we have that page. And you have a page on your website that's just for cryptocurrency donations, right?
Infowars.com/crypto.
Is that a little advertisement just there?
Well, we're fighting the deep state. We need money.
All right. And now I want to look at a clip for you on your show tonight on it.
He just advertised in court.
That's right.
Infowars.com/crypto.
Is that a little advertisement just there?
Well, we're fighting the deep state. We need money.
All right. And now I want to look at a clip for you on your show tonight on it.
He thinks this is a fucking joke. He just did a fucking plug.
Just there?
Well, we're fighting the deep state.com/crypto.
Your website that's just for cryptocurrency donations, right?
Infowars.com/crypto.
Is that a little advertisement just there?
Well, we're fighting the deep state. We need money.
All right.
Then he does that fucking shit-eating grin. Are you fucking kidding me? He just did. You think this is a fucking joke? Bro, you need jail time.
All right. And now I want to look at a clip for you on your show tonight on it.
Objection. Move to strike. Good.
On it.
Objection. Move to strike again.
I'm sorry. When you turn around to look at the camera and talk, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. That will end up as a clip on your show tonight.
Objection.
Your advertisement for your cryptocurrency page.
Overruled.
You know, I mean, people want to keep us in the fight. So I hope whoever the big whales are that have given us money before keep doing it.
We'll just keep minting money as you're in this courtroom.
Objection, Judge.
All right, let's move on.
I mean,
and
people care about the First Amendment.
And in the cryptocurrency page, People can give it to you in Bitcoin, yes?
Yes.
Ethereum, right?
Yes.
And it says support the InfoWar, right?
Yes.
But there's nothing on that page that tells your audience that when they give you cryptocurrency, it goes directly into your personal account, is there?
Oh, I've told the listeners that.
Mr. Jones, listen to my question.
Bruh.
On the page, the crypto page, where you say support the InfoWar, there's nothing on there that says that the crypto donations
If I could smack him in his fucking fat forehead, I would. But
is there?
And then directly to the company account. That's how crypto works.
Okay.
Shut up.
Do we have the page? And earlier this year, in a number of donations, $8 million in Bitcoin was donated through this page to you personally, correct?
I think it was $9 million.
$9 million. And you cashed out about $5 million of that, right?
No, that's when you deposed me. We've cashed all but $60,000 out, and it's all been put into info.
Interested is that that full amount that went to you personally, you then put right into free speech systems. That's your sworn testimony?
I don't have the exact accounting, but do the math. There's $60,000 left in the wallet, which is public. Anybody can go look at it. You act like it's all secret. The whole point of it's public. And so there's the wallet. And then that's how my IT folks set it up. That's how you do it, is you've got your personal wallet. And then I put it in my private bank account. And then I put it into the company. And I think we put all the money I put in my account into free speech systems. Because it's been, I'm not allowed to say, there are the rulings, but it's trying to shore it up. And then there's 60,000 left, hoping it goes back up, that we're waiting. But I don't think it's going to go back up for a while. And we're probably going to dump that out next week and put it in the free speech systems.
So just to wrap this up, your sworn testimony is that everything other than $60,000 of that $8 million that you got went into your personal account.
Wow.
And then you transferred into free speech systems. Yes or no?
Yes, other than bonuses, of $100,000 of bonuses went to the IT people and some of the graphics crew. So they got $100,000.
You got none of it yourself, is what you're saying.
Yes, and it'd be nice if we could put on evidence, block from it. I could probably get you those numbers. Would you like those?
No, what I want you to do is offer sworn testimony that
Objection,
none of that money
objection.
went to you.
James, why don't we just rephrase the question?
I got a new question for you. I just want to be crystal clear. None of that money ended up with you personally. Yes or no?
Well, you'll say technically. Well, technically, it went in my bank account, and then I put it into free speech system. That's how it works.
None of it remains in your personal possession.
I'd have to do the exact accounting. I think it may be negative. I mean, I think I may put more money in.
All right, Mr. Johnson. And ever since this trial started, and you've been calling it a kangaroo court yourself, right?
Yes.
Right. And you've called this judge a tyrant, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you actually use that word a lot with your audience. You call people tyrant.
Only when they act like it.
Okay. And
wow.
One way that you've been conveying to your audience that Judge Bellis has been acting like a tyrant is by showing her with lasers coming out of her eyes, right? You know you did that?
I didn't direct that. First time I saw it was in court.
This is the tyrant you've been telling your audience about, right? Yeah?
I'm barred from saying why I said it. So
I didn't ask you why.
Oh.
This is the tyrant you've been telling your audience about, right?
I believe. Yes. I don't know.
Look at me.
The answer is you don't know.
About that. I didn't make that.
This is the tyrant pictured here that you've been telling your audience about, right?
I thought you were asking me again about the image or about me believing this is tyrannical. Can you restate the question, please?
Sure. I'll restate it for the third time.
Objection to the comments. Move to strike.
This is.
And we have one motion. Okay, thank you.
This picture right here. That's Judge Bellis, correct?
Yes.
Lasers coming out of her eyes.
So entertaining.
Yes.
That's who you're referring to as a tyrant to your audience, correct?
She's right fucking there. He's trying not to look at her. She's right there. Like imagine. Oh my fucking god. And nobody I've talked shit about on my stream, I would say everything I say on stream directly to their fucking face. I have no qualms about anybody I say. Anything I say about anybody on stream, they're all pieces of shit. Name one person on stream who's possibly a good person that I talked about. Not a single person. But this is hilarious.
Yes.
Okay, and you refer to tyrants to your audience a lot, right?
Some.
Right. And that's Judge Bellis on the right there, isn't it?
Yes.
Engulfed in flames.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's it.
I didn't ask you the other person.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's another judge, right?
Objection, motion eliminated.
That's not what I was going to say.
Objection, motion
That's
eliminated.
another producer's report. That's
So, Mr. Thomas, because your attorney stood up and objected, so remember when there's an...
I'll withdraw it. I'll withdraw it.
But
Yeah, another person made this report.
Just remember that when there's an objection, just...
What?
Yeah, that's clear. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So after Bill Oldenburg and after Judge Bellis, who's next, Mr. Jones?
Objection.
Sustained.
I mean, I guess if somebody's on national TV, oh, I'm sorry.
Again, no, Mr. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you're really objective. And I sustained this, he won, and you still answered.
Okay, I'm not hearing him.
Can you be louder? I never thought I would say this, Attorney Thomas.
Yes, Judge, I can be louder. How's that?
A little secret is I have serious hearing damage.
Okay, so...
And I need to get hearing aids soon, so.
So your client cannot hear.
So he has to scream.
Seriously, I can't hear you, Norm.
So let's pull up just for the witness. Exhibit 512.
One more time.
512. Take a look at the screen next to you. That's the landing page for band.video, your video page, right?
Yes.
I'll offer your own.
May I have one moment, Judge?
Take your time.
This is a fucking clown show, dude.
No objection.
All right, that's a...
But this is what you tell your audience here, right? Did you see any Bill Oldenburg's testimony?
Objection.
I did.
You did.
This is what you tell your audience. Did you see the
Again, he keeps fucking answering.
But that's what you told your audience.
Which one, Judge?
That the FBI had sued you, right?
No, that's the headline that another person made. But
And this video right here, I don't know if you can see it, just as of September 15th, had 190,000 views, didn't it?
yes,
And you said you watched Mr. Oldenburg's testimony?
I watched quite a bit.
You heard him describe the threats he had received?
Yes,
You heard him describe the harassment he had received?
yes,
You heard him describe years of feeling insecure as a result of the army that you sicked on him?
Objection, Judge. Move to strike that.
I mean, he said I never even said his name. No, yes.
Disregard that.
So, Mr. Jones, your attorney objected.
Sorry.
No, let me finish. I sustained his objection and you answered it anyway. He won and you kept going. So, just, why don't you take a break, drink a little water.
Okay.
Take a breath.
He has to answer the fucking question. If he gets challenged, he has to answer.
I think your words were...
He's like a fucking dog. Like, if somebody challenges him, even if the judge is like, that's a bullshit, you don't have to answer that. No, fuck it, I'm gonna answer it anyway. And it's like, this is like the fifth time.
You'll be quiet.
Thank
Then
you.
I'll rule.
You're right.
He won.
I'll slow down.
Okay. How's that, Attorney Travis?
And then the jury is to formally disregard the comments of counsel.
So ordered.
And after all that, you still chose to put Bill Oldenburg's face up in front of
Objection.
your audience of hundreds of millions, correct?
Assumes that fact, not an evidence.
Overruled.
No, I did not direct Greg Reese to make this, but I think it's a good report.
Okay. So when you did become aware of it, you didn't take it down, did you?
No, I stand by the report.
Very good.
In a crude way, that's true, but not exactly.
All right. And don't apologize, Mr. Jones. Please don't apologize.
No, I've already apologized to the parents over and over again.
We know
I don't apologize to you.
Objection.
Don't apologize to you.
You're going to do it again.
Objection, Judge.
Aren't you?
Objection.
No, I'm not.
Objection. Argumentative.
Don't apologize to you.
Well, it's hard for me to get a word in edgewise.
It is, but I
Because
think
your
there's
client
one
is-
officer of the court and one witness and an officer of the
why
court
don't
heard
we
the
move
objection.
on? And I can't rule on your attorney's Excuse me.
I'm sorry, just screaming at me.
I can't rule on your attorney's objection.
Understand.
He's talking and he may have to legitimate.
You're right, I'm sorry, I'm trying.
Because there's going to be another. What do you say about Aurora?
Objection.
What, before this?
What did you say about Aurora?
Excuse me, are you objecting to your
I believe it was a real
client?
shooting, but he was in a mind control program, just like Theodore Kaczynski. Sorry.
Are you objecting to your client's answers, Attorney Pattis?
Are you objecting to your clients? Yes, he is.
So here's what I'll tell you, Mr. Young.
Okay.
If I admonish anybody, it's gonna be both of you, okay? You're shouting over your client, you just have to stop. Okay, so let's get the next question and let's move forward.
Speculative.
Yes or no?
I didn't write that poll, but I stand behind it.
Record will affect how many times I've told him, and he tells me he understands.
My record is clear, Judge. When counsel here are professionals. I made arguments.
Long enough. I think we've seen enough to know that Alex Jones is it's gonna be bad, bruh. It's gonna be bad. He's gonna get a guilty verdict, and I'm not mad. Alex Jones is forced to pay almost $1 billion to the families of the Sandy Hook victims. This is amazing. This is good. We love this. Okay? How did they fucking come to that point? Well, we're about to fucking find out. Let's start with the closing arguments for both for the plaintiffs and for the defense.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm very happy to be able to have this opportunity to speak with you this morning. And I know that the families that you see here who have been here every day are very, very grateful to you for your attention and your concern throughout these weeks. I think we've seen just about every aspect of the human experience on display in this courtroom for the past several weeks. And if you're like me, as you've been listening to the testimony, there may be moments where you found yourself drifting to thinking about your own things, your own experience, what's important to you in your own life. And we're going to talk about all of that, but what I want to start with and just acknowledge is what we saw in this courtroom yesterday, which is that the lies that started on December 14, 2012 are continuing to this very day. In 2 months, it will be 10 years. 10 years since these families lost their loved ones. And even now, he's still doing it. Why don't we go ahead and play just a clip from what Mr. Jones said within hours of the shooting.
I'm running in a build-up, and I said, this is the attack. Look, people got to find the clips the last 2 months. I said, they are launching attacks. They're getting ready. I can see them warming up with Obama. They've got a bigger majority in the Congress now, in the Senate. They are going to come after our guns, look for mass shootings. And then magically it happens. They are coming. They are coming. They are coming.
2 years later, it's the same thing. And by the way, you've seen dozens of videos. I'm going to show you a chart of all the different times over the years Alex Jones was pushing this lie. You've seen dozens of them, but just let's go to 2 years later, January 13th, 2015.
So Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors.
Synthetic, completely fake, with actors. Now you've heard, some of Mr. Jones's preferred phrases. Synthetic, fake as a $3 bill.
Last one.
Total hoax. And he repeats it over and over, including last week on his show. Let's go to September 29th, 2022.
It is synthetic as hell.
You saw that video yesterday. It's all made up. Now that I see how rigged this trial is, it's as synthetic as hell. You saw the video where he said not only is the trial rigged, the jury's rigged. All of you. The judge is a tyrant. That's what he does. Why? Because he knows he needs to maintain his credibility with his audience because they're everything to him. And we are nothing to begin with. You heard this testimony. You had millions of listeners by the time you were 24, right? Yes. And you were the beginnings of a media empire, right? Yes. This is the early 2000s. Mr. Jones starting to build methodically that audience that would come to him for the message that he spread on Infowars.com, that message being that there's a conspiracy, a global plot out to get you. A global plot out to get you, to enslave you, to kill you, people in power out to get you. And it's such a convenient message for him to send because every day he's got something new to share with the people that are coming to him about how they know that this is true. And he starts to build Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, Prison Planet TV, the centerpiece of his media operation, the Alex Jones Show. Infowars Store, in the early days it was InfowarsShop.com. And you remember Clint Watts, our expert, he told you that this guy was perfectly situated to take advantage of the way stuff spread on social media. Yep. So he has Facebook, all those Facebook accounts, Twitter, YouTube, millions of views, building and building and building this organization to spread this message. Remember Clint Watts, the message. This is Alex Jones's testimony. And the message that you convey to your audience and have conveyed for the last 20-some years is that there's a group of international media, financial, and political elites that are conspiring to establish a global tyrannical government to enslave and ultimately kill people. Let's play just a sampling of the way he conveys this message, including on the day of the shooting.
They are coming, they are coming, they are coming. They've already taken over healthcare, the premiums are doubling, they're bankrupting that. They're already shipped GM to China. They are going to gut this country, they're going to shut down the power plants themselves run by globalists. What does the new magazine say? You get it by subscribing. You get 12 issues, great way. This man wants your guns. And I break down here, they're declaring war on the Second Amendment, period. They are declaring war on the Second Amendment, period. They are coming after our Second Amendment. It is happening. They want to kill America in 2030.
They know. Remember this testimony from Rod Duke?
As you sit here today, you have no recollection of having read the state's attorney's report of his investigation on the circumstances surrounding the city of shooting, correct?
I'm still here screaming, man.
Don't you think that that would have been a source of information that you would have wanted to consult if you were interested in the facts and circumstances surrounding the shooting? Objection.
A few moments later. More moments later. A little longer than a few minutes later.
Answer the fucking question.
I don't know what I was thinking at the time.
Except that's not true. You know exactly.
Of course, Rob Dew is gonna get him into fucking trouble.
They were thinking dollar signs. Look at this. From 2012. Pending. He himself recognizes that the words are so obviously hurtful that they require no proof that they caused injury in order for them to be actionable. And what was this harm? This catastrophic damage that Alex Jones suffered. A tweet with 20 retweets and 37 likes. Oh, he gets it. He gets it. But he doesn't care. And this is just getting back to Clint Watts, the 500 complaint. I wanted to show you this testimony.
He sued over a fucking tweet with 20 fucking retweets. Petty. Petty.
I'm sure you remember it. But when you compare that to the 20 tweets and Alex Jones, give me a break. But you know, Alex Jones is the victim, isn't he? But here's how you know why it's so important, why this case is historic, why you have an opportunity to do something as representatives of this community. Because I had Alex Jones on the stand, and I said, you're going to do it again, aren't you? This is a few weeks ago, and look what he is doing. Look what he's preparing his audience for. What is he conditioning them to believe? Which families is he going to hit the barbed wire and be a precision-guided munition on next? You think he takes any of this seriously? What do you think it means when he tells his audience that Judge Bellows is a tyrant? You think they know what that means? You think they get it?
I am so sick of the New World Order. I am so sick of this cult of psychopaths. I am so sick of their lies and their fraud. I don't believe anything they say. And I apologize for nothing I've ever done because I did it all from a place of purity, and I've been 98% accurate. You go to Yahoo, you go to Google, you go to Instagram, you go to Facebook, it's Alex Jones at the top, setting us dead kids, families for weeks on, never said their names, never even talked about them, all made up. And it's like, oh, my kid died, oh, and Alex Jones caused it, and it's all loud. You're like, oh my God, Jones, you're under such attack. We better not be like you. I'm under attack because I expose these people. I'm just going to be honest, I totally enjoy it. I mean, I've reached that point of real peace where I don't just have peace with this, I enjoy it now.
Still talking shit. He's still talking shit after all of that. He's still talking shit. All right. Now this is what his defense had to say. Mind you, this is going to be much more interesting than the prosecution because the defense goes ham.
Please be seated. The record will reflect that the entire panel has returned.
It's still morning. Morning. In many decades and hundreds of trials of doing this, I've never been prouder to be a lawyer than I am right now. I'm here to defend Alex Jones. I'm here to defend free speech systems. In my opening statement, I began, and I'm going to read it because I wrote it then because I was worried I'd forget it. We live in times of deep political division in this country. One of the issues dividing us is guns, their possession, their use, and their control. The divides are deep, even dangerous. Don't let anyone tell you this trial is a means of addressing gun violence or political divisions. We're not here to make political statements, to reform the world, to take a stand against extreme speech. This trial is not a cultural moment. We are here because on another date and at another time, a court held Alex Jones and free speech systems liable for harming the plaintiffs. You are forbidden to speculate why that happened. Your only job here is to determine how much damage my clients caused each plaintiff, and then to assign a dollar value to suffering. The case comes down to money. How much money will each plaintiff get? We're asking you here to follow the law and nothing but the law. All of this to set up the Sandy Hook families. He put a target on their back and he monetized it. That's what you were told. I'm going to show you an exhibit. It takes about 19 minutes to play. I believe it's exhibit 45. Zach, please press play. Watch this video.
As all of our hardcore listeners know from their own research, this country is in the middle of a civil war against globalist forces that are openly trying to stop the populist Americana new renaissance that we are attempting to bring back into play. Free market, true open societies versus globalism and corporate.
Okay, I love this. This is literally Alex Jones fighting for his life the best way he can, right? He's playing a clip that's 19 minutes long. Let's see if it gets him off the hook. It doesn't. He has to pay $1 billion. But let's see.
Corporate crony capitalist tyranny. We have an overload of news and information, obviously, today. We have Democratic Party throws a new giant temper tantrum because their Russia investigation has come up 100% high and dry. They've now thrown a new giant temper tantrum to restart another fake investigation, this time a civil one, so they can continue to say there's an investigation. Oh, we're deposing this person, we're deposing that person. And the lawsuit is gigantic, making all sorts of claims of the criminal activities that went on with Trump, WikiLeaks, and the Russians with zero, not one scintilla of evidence. Amazing. The Russians did not hack the DNC. It was leaked out of the DNC. We know from the files released that have digital coding on them that they were downloaded at 6 times the speed of the fastest internet connection 2 years ago. You understand, folks? 6 times the fastest connection. It's still 4 times the fastest connection today. It was downloaded at point blank range, just like Snowden did in Hawaii inside the big NSA center. It was downloaded at point blank range. And now that's back in the news again today. Unbelievable disinformation. But notice, what did Trump say during the campaign? He said, I don't know the Russians or who else. Might be some fat guy in his mother's basement. For all I know, you could ping off anywhere in the world. There's no evidence it's Russia. But he said, but if it is the Russians, release it. It's about what's in the WikiLeaks.
Why are we playing this fucking thing? Why?
Not about changing the subject as they always do.
You're changing. This has nothing to do with
who released it. What about all the crimes?
Why are we
and I heard Ellen Schroyer did a great job yesterday during the broadcast when I took time off to do some family. Say that today on the War Room, he's going to spend an hour, maybe spend the whole 3 hours, getting into the WikiLeaks and the top 100 WikiLeaks, and then you calling in and mentioning what WikiLeaks you think are most important. Just like they hammer all this fake Russiagate stuff constantly, we should be hammering the bona fides, the bones, the guts, the reality of what is in those things and all the other leaks that they don't even deny are real.
Bullshit.
Sensational crimes.
What are we talking about, Alex?
Pay to play from the Russians and the Communist Chinese and all these big foundations. Billions of dollars going to Hillary. Hundreds of millions from the Russians.
Hillary's in this now.
Yeah, they give money to Secretary of State
What?
to then give them a third of our uranium. They did it. Absolutely. Do the Russians want to get our secrets and get our industry? Absolutely. That's what we do to them. The point is that the traitor's Hillary. So, you got the Democratic Party files monster temper tantrum because, as I said last week and this week, the wheels came off 6 months ago with the fake Russia investigation, but now it's really come up dry. It's moved on to the Arab Emirates, and it's moved on to all these other places.
God,
So we're going to get into some of that
you didn't want to
as well. This really shows how desperate they are. You know, Matt's a great producer in there, and he's really hot and mad over this Megyn Kelly thing.
What the fuck are we talking about right now, Alex?
Today, Alex?
What are we talking about? Matt is the good producer now? Norm, you couldn't have cut this shit down, Norm? Why is this shit a part of your closing arguments? You're fighting for your fucking life. Yeah, bro, there's a reason why you gotta pay $1 billion. Jesus Christ. Just say something about Sandy Hook. Just one thing about Sandy Hook. And there's nothing.
You got to. It's one of the top stories in the country. Every channel is lying about you. Local, radio, TV, everything. You've got to cover it because it's bigger than you, Alex. And you know, he's right. He said this is a chilling effect. This is so bad. He's like shaking with anger. I've never seen Matt angry like this. There's like 20 minutes of news clips attacking me. I can't get to it. It's just all lies, folks. But I'm going to try to go to some of it. But here's the bottom line. The media brings up Pizzagate and then misrepresents what I've said to beat me over the head and drag me to the mud. And then say that I need to be banned off the air. They bring up Sandy Hook and say that I say nobody died when I never said that. I played devil's advocate. They took it out of context. Megyn Kelly plays clips that are about Hillary being responsible for thousands of dead children in the Middle East. She edits that and then plays it when she was at Fox News saying that I was saying Hillary was killing kids in a basement. So the defamation is that they continue to bring up these cases, never letting me drop it. I don't think anything was going on at that pizza place. We investigated it. We walked it back. We've clarified. I'm done talking about it. In fact, just take it off the screen. Because it overshadows all the real stuff going on that I've got stacks of in mainstream news here. And then you've got Sandy Hook, where we talk about the police stand down. We talk about the men in the woods with guns that were on the news, on helicopter shots. We said there's anomalies here. And then some of the people thinking it was a total hoax began to think I was covering it up. And I went, wait a minute, I'm not covering anything up. And I'm done with this tar baby about a year into it. That's 4 years ago. And I constantly say, mass shootings really happened. The government stand down at Sandy Hook. They stand down in Florida. They try to take me off the air, try to take me off YouTube, saying I said nobody died in Florida. You know I didn't do that, and they're liars. So then they get 3 of the parents of the poor little children that died when another Prozac kid with a gun went and killed him and got the gun illegally. And the media exacerbates it. They bring it up and they say Alex Jones is attacking these families when it's the media dragging this out every week of every month for the last 5 years, saying this. The media never covered me in Sandy Hook at first. But they saw when I said, I think people died there, because Paul Watson totally convinced me. I was just asking questions, and Paul got mad at me about this. And I've been on record for 4 years about that. I respect Paul. And so a lot of my listeners got mad at me saying, oh, you're covering it up. So they...
This is Anderson Cooper.
Saw that as weak.
Anderson Cooper interviewing I think this is one of the mothers in Sandy Hook.
This in the media because I'm a real journalist, and they know full well. So I don't get equal time on Anderson Cooper or on Megyn Kelly or any of these programs. Megyn Kelly called me in April of last year, early April. She said, I want to come to town. You heard it. I secretly recorded it. And I said, listen, I'm not getting into Sandy Hook or Pizzagate. She goes, I'm not going to get into that. No. It's all about you and your custody battle and how interesting you are. You're such a man. I want to go out to dinner with you. And, man, you're really, all this other stuff.
I feel like that's really why he's mad. He's really mad because he thought Megyn Kelly was gonna give him some pussy, and he didn't. She did. This is really being brought up in court right now, Alex. This is really being brought up in court. Listen, you can hear. Listen to it.
She goes, I'm not going to get into that. No. It's all about you and your custody battle and how interesting you are. You're such a man. I want to watch dinner with you. And, man, you're really, all this other stuff. So I recorded the first part where she was saying how good looking I was and stuff in the car. I was driving to work one Saturday.
Oh, he's really saying that Megyn Kelly. He's Megyn Kelly wanted to bang me, you guys. Megyn Kelly wanted to fuck me. Okay, come on.
Interesting you are. You're such a man. I want to watch dinner with you. And, man, you're really, all this other stuff. So I didn't record the first part where she was saying how good looking I was and stuff in the car.
Oh, you didn't record that
Saturday.
part.
I said, let me call you back in 5 minutes. Because it was like, oh, you're just so manly. You're so. And I was like, you heard some of it. Once I got here, I recorded what was going on because I didn't have a recording app on my phone. I have like the voice memo thing, but it doesn't record phone calls. So I had to get another company phone and then record it. And I knew it was a total setup. That I'm like, oh, really? Tell me about how it's 6 a.m. again, sweetheart? So you can read it. Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, full interview leaked. You can go read that, listen to it, see it. So I'm saying I will not talk about Sandy Hook. Then she has the bold cojones to go on her TV show yesterday morning with some of the parents and say, isn't it horrible he keeps bringing it up? Isn't it horrible he's sending crazy people to attack you? I'm not covering it. I'm not bringing it up. I'm telling Megyn Kelly I don't want to talk about it. She's here a year ago. I'm telling Megyn Kelly I attacked you. I'm not
Look at Mark Bankston. Fat white Jesus in person, baby.
Covering it. I'm not bringing it up. I'm telling Megyn Kelly I don't want to talk about it. She's here a year ago. In the 8 hours she interviews me to edit it together. And I keep saying, I think Sandy Hook happened. Well, why'd you say this? Why'd you say that? I said, well, I questioned some of it, what was going on early on because of anomalies and a stand down. Edits that together to reissue it and put it out. The woman is the consummate snake. She is in my view, a corrupt, evil, lying lawyer masquerading as a journalist who is a monster affront to the truth, who wants to create a chilling effect to shut down alternative information and news because her ratings are in the toilet, all the rest of MSM. Stop victimizing the people of Sandy Hook and the people of Pizzagate. Stop it. So Donald Trump's been in office less than a year and a half, and like Lazarus, America has crawled out of its tomb economically, culturally, spiritually in many respects. We've really turned the corner. Lazarus has a heartbeat. He looks like hell, smells bad, but he's on the mend. And the banshees, the vampires, are going into connection fits of intimidation, of bullying, of just going wild. And a lot of Americans are saying, I'm going to keep my head down and see who wins this. You're not Americans if you do that. America is America because we had guts. We stood up. The whole world, every major historian said, we were smart, hardworking, and meaner than hell, stubborn like a mule, didn't back down. That's what built it. That's why, on average, we've got all this wealth. It's because we're not easy to push around. Well, I see myself as a throwback then. But America was the vanguard, the cutting edge. We're not going back to American values. We are getting back to the future, back to the real agenda that was making us so successful. Coming up, Roger Stone is listed in the giant lawsuit from the Democratic Party. Now, they already had Obama's law firm group that he founded 1 month before he left office to, quote, stop the Trump agenda. Remember that headline? In fact, type that in. It's from CNN. Obama founds legal group to stop Trump agenda. Didn't say Russia. To stop Trump. They developed the little breadcrumbs to put out the new fake suit, and the Democratic Party, with all its money, it's behind it. To crush these individuals, you talk about Federal Elections Commission issue. They shouldn't be able to do that. Should the Republicans be able to fund all these people so they can defend themselves? Oh, no. The Democrats will say, no. We can use our money to sue you, the deep state, but you can't use any government money to stop us. Roger Stone's the next segment. But let's get back briefly to Megyn Kelly. I may just play a few minutes of this, though. It really is hard to watch. CNN.
Honest opinion? Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that happens. think there's a very good chance that happens. Should not be surprised. Because again, it's going to be more of a response against Biden, right? They were sort of setting Hillary up to fail, right? Even before they knew Trump was going to be the guy to take her down, you know, they were setting Hillary up. Like, they had all of her dirt just out in the fucking waters. And, like, not defending Hillary, but she was about as corrupt as every other politician. I have no love for the Clintons. Bill put so many black people in prison for the rest of their life. It's ridiculous. The actual two-party system is the rich and the fucking poor, right? You have the middle class and the working class, and then you have the fucking upper class, and you have, like, the fucking millionaires, right? Like, the amount of divide between that is ridiculous. You look at somebody that's making $20,000 a year, right? You look at somebody that's making $50,000 a year, and they live two completely different lives, right? You look at somebody that's making $80,000 a year, somebody that's making $50,000 a year. Again, two completely different lives. And then you get up there and you have people making $200,000, $300,000 a year, and you know, and I am not saying that there needs to be a redistribution of wealth, right? Like, I'm not saying that, like, if you fucking started your business from the bottom and you fucking got to be a fucking millionaire because your business took off or whatever, like, you shouldn't, you know, you should have your business taken away and you should have your money spent. No, I'm not saying if you're a fucking doctor and you've spent all these years working and you get paid the same as the motherfucker that takes out your trash. No, but what I'm saying is, like, the motherfucker that works for you and the motherfucker that, like, takes out your trash should also be able to live in a way that is still considered good, right? Like, you don't have to have the guy that, like, is one flat tire away from having $0 in his bank account. You know, you can have the guy that can actually take a fucking vacation, right? Because he has the ability to. His job doesn't fucking threaten him. Like, well, if you take 2 weeks off, we're going to have somebody come in and take your place. And they're not going to be here just for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, there just needs to be equal opportunity for everybody, right? And there's a lot of shit that's not, right? And it's like, people want, like, you know, you have people on the far left that are like open borders, and then you have people on the far right that are like closed borders. I'm like, there needs to be a faster immigration process, right? Like, if immigration took 2 weeks to process and get in, it wouldn't be an issue. The issue is you have motherfuckers waiting years to be either rejected or accepted into this fucking country. And in that time, you can fucking die. You can starve to death. You know what I'm saying? If it was fast, if it was like, okay, 2 weeks to come in, background check, criminal check, done, then, you know, that's one thing. But you have dudes on the waiting list for years, okay? And it's not, like, there needs to be a lot of changes, and it's not something that's like, you know, one really far right answer or one really far fucking left answer, but like, it seems as though that's what you have in terms of politicians, right? You have Trump, who's fucking pandering to the right, but he's also pandering to this idea of sticking it to, like, the government and to the man, when Trump is the very definition of being the man. Right? He fucking, you know, thinks women are objects. He fucking is racist as hell. And maybe he's not racist to the point where he's like, I think black people aren't as smart as white people, no. He thinks black people aren't as smart as white people, but I don't think he thinks, oh, black people are a different fucking species or anything crazy like Nick Fuentes. But, like, I think that, like, Trump, like, he fucking referred to the one dude on the fucking Apprentice as the N-word. Fuck, who was he? God. Anyway, like, you have all fucked up options, and now you have fucking politicians coming in, like, pandering to that kind of shit, right? You have that fucking asshole in the wheelchair, and you have that one crazy fucking bitch. Oh, fuck. What is her fucking name, bruh? What's the crazy fucking right-wing bitch? Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's who the fuck I'm talking about. You have bitches like this, MTG, who are coming in and basically fucking... Like, these are the new type of politicians. They're not politicians anymore. They're motherfuckers that are just out here pandering to the fucking most extreme, like, parts of their party. Right? She's fucking insane. And she's a fucking congresswoman. But this is what you get. And the only reason why she exists is because of how fucking, is because of all the fucking support Trump got. Because of his craziness. She took that and she fucking basically doubled down.
And NBC, all of them are in the tank. They admit that.
All of that shit is happening because of Alex
They're doing
Jones.
everything they can to try to shut down liberals, conservatives, you name it. In fact, there's a...
Like Trump, all of that shit is because of Alex Jones, and I don't say that lightly. Like, Alex Jones and his fucking disinformation pushed it to that point. You know what I mean?
Big hubbub on the internet today that all of these mainline Democrats who are very, very popular but have their own shows, like Jimmy Dore and others, CNN is now pushing to have them blocked, their monetization taken, and to have that removed. Now, CNN admits a month ago they've been lobbying to have us removed, and then lying about what we've said to try to set the case for that. So they defame us, and they try to silence us so they can tell lies about us and no one can respond. Just like I got hundreds and hundreds of media requests saying, what is your statement? What is your response? On Monday. And I sent the media a video response, and still for days after days they say, oh, Jones didn't respond. Jones didn't respond. Jones didn't respond. Megyn Kelly at least said, oh, he did respond on his YouTube. Lady, I'd have got on an airplane and come up there and got in studio with you and your father of one of the victims. I'd have said, sir, I've been saying for years that I'm sure people died there. And I never said for sure nobody died. I said that I played devil's advocate and said I could see why some people don't believe the government because it's lied about babies and incubators. But it's been edited and then it's brought back up like I'm bringing it back up. I'd say, Megyn, you told me before you came here we weren't going to get into Sandy Hook. But then you got into it and then you say I'm a horrible person.
Like, he believes the shit that he's actually saying. But they've shown clips of him saying specifically that no one died. All the shit that he's saying he never said, he did say it. Right? And he only apologized after the fucking lawsuits.
Bringing it back up. You're the horrible person. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to be a statute in the law. They want the Alex Jones statute to preemptively ban people and preemptively ban questioning public events. They don't want you to question their narratives when they put out their narratives of chemical gas attacks, and 3 times it turns out to be the rebels. We're not sure this time. It's still up in the air. But they have the motive. And Senator Paul and all these other generals say that Assad doesn't have the motive, and the rebels have been caught staging stuff before, and they've been putting out fake videos of gas attacks and admitting it's fake. I mean, this is getting crazy. And what does it say in internal Google documents from a year ago? We want Jones shut down because he changed the narrative on Syria chemical attacks being staged. They don't want me here, so you don't have a voice, so we can talk about this. There's another article on Infowars.com. CNN associates Infowars with Pedo Channel in bid to shut down its competition. And hundreds of liberal channels that are popular, but that are independent and anti-war, they're being shut down. They're being blocked. And the left is so upset that people like Jimmy Dore has left the Young Turks, and he's more popular than them now, and that they want him off the air. That's what this is all about. And I've invited Jimmy Dore on the show. It doesn't matter, we disagree on 80% of stuff. We agree, and he points it out, that they're shutting down conservatives and liberals that are non-interventionists. CNN, and compares this to Nazis and pedophiles in the same newscast. I've got a lawsuit. I've got a real defamation suit. Because this stuff is causing damage with advertisers openly saying they're saying this so we lose advertisers. You understand what we're saying here? They say malice of forethought and to do harm. They compare us to pedophile sites, white supremacist sites, who, by the way, have a right to operate. I don't agree with it. They have a right. Pedophile sites don't. And then say we should be taken down. That's all in a CNN report last night. This group that force feeds itself to you at hotels and bars and restaurants and train stations and bus stations and airports that you just can't get away from. It's like syphilis or gonorrhea or herpes. It won't go away. And it's just always there like a cold sore coming up. CNN is raping this country, raping the First Amendment. And it's all part of this big deep state constellation attack that's going on. Let's play some of this. This is Megyn Kelly. Father of slain Sandy Hook first grader Alex Jones must come clean on his lies. So they accuse me of being a liar and calling them liars in the suit. It was filed here in Travis County on Monday. They say also that I must do a retraction. I refuse.
This is so fucking mind-numbing.
They sent the letter last Wednesday. It had a month for me to do an apology or retraction, but I can't apologize or retract something I didn't do. Then they instantly file it, say that I'm not apologizing, say that I'm saying nobody died, and then saying, why won't he go away? Why won't he stop saying and stop bullying us, Alex? Well, my audience knows what really happened. This is worldwide news from Australia to Taiwan to England. Sandy Hook father calls out Alex Jones on Megyn Kelly. It's amazing. Megyn Kelly, had like a vampire, has been on this story and bringing it up and misrepresenting what I've said to hurt me. And she brings the pain up to the families again. And I'm sure they're smart people, these families. You know, they don't want this pain to their family and the memory brought up. I'm not bringing it up. Except when they're in the news and the media is there saying I've said things I didn't say. So I'm going to ask the families to actually look at what I've said and to come on this show. But you notice I'm not invited on any of these shows. It's all got to be one-sided so that Megyn Kelly can lie to everybody. Roger Stone's coming up. I'm going to probably put on the end of this some of the clips.
Really,
but
fucking really.
It's just insane.
You better not be watching
a whole special report on this Megyn Kelly thing. Because they're the ones bringing it up. They're the ones misrepresenting and then saying I am. It's total and complete fraud from the media.
We are here for a hearing in damages, and the law limits what I can and cannot argue. I'm not arguing that this is a political case. I showed you that exhibit so that you recognize some of the clips, snips you saw. You see them in context. And does that really sound like the kind of man who put a target on the family's back? Does it sound like somebody who sat up at night deciding I can monetize the family's grief?
Yes.
If it sounds that way to you, then you'll do what you think is appropriate. You will see.
And they did.
A series, and you have in this trial seen a series of videos, small segments of larger videos. They're like 1A, 1B, 1C, 1E. If you're in the jury room and you want to see the truth, the whole truth about Alex Jones, ask to view a couple of those videos. Zach, can you show us 1E?
So you know how Alex Jones is like, No, you know how they say the Bible? There's so much shit in the Bible that like you can pretty much pick something in there to support whatever point that you have, right? So the same can be said about Alex Jones's fucking whole plethora of content, right? The like anything he can fucking like all the shit that he says can be used to either condemn him or prove him innocent. But he says everything, right? Nothing that he says sticks, and it's all horseshit.
This is the attack. Look, people got to find the clips the last 2 months. I said they are launching attacks. They're getting ready. I can see them warming up with Obama. They've got a bigger majority in the Congress now, in the Senate. They are going to come after our guns, look for mass shootings. And then magically it happens. They are coming. They are coming. They are coming. They've already taken over healthcare. The premiums are doubling. They're bankrupting that. They're already shipped GM to China. They are going to gut this country. They're going to shut down the power plants. They're going to bankrupt us. They are re-educating us. Just like we were Ukrainians and they're Russians. They want us bankrupt. They want the counties and the cities bankrupted and federalized. The feds themselves run by globalists. What does the new magazine say? You can get it by subscribing. You can get 12 issues. Great way. This man wants your guns.
Take a look at one while you're deliberating and ask yourself whether that's the conduct of a person who put a target on the back of families he'd never met. He was reacting. He told you from the stand. Mr. Maddy asked him, "You care about your integrity more than anything, don't you?" "No," he said, and I'll do my best Alex impersonation. "I care about smashing the globalists." They ridicule that. That's their right. There's a larger context for the speech than the speech that has been presented to you here today, and it's in evidence. All you have to do is look at it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please listen to your verdict as it is read. Verdict. We, the jury, have reached our verdict as to damages in this case.
Here we go.
We award damages to each plaintiff and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, LLC, as follows. To plaintiff Robbie Parker, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $60 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $60 million.
120 million for your ass.
Reasonable damages to plaintiff Robert Parker and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, total $120 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff David Wheeler, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $25 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $30 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff David Wheeler and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $55 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Francine Wheeler, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $24 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $30 million.
Alex, bro.
Damages to plaintiff Francine Wheeler and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B.
Alex, bro. I don't know. Do you got $1 billion?
To plaintiff Jacqueline
You better.
Barton, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $10 million. Sherlock and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $36 million, initialed by juror number 1. Number 2, award of attorney's fees and costs. Instructions, check yes or no. If you check yes, the judge will determine the amount due to the plaintiffs for reasonable attorney's fees and costs, and will then award the plaintiffs that amount at a later date. If you check no, the judge will award $1 to the plaintiffs for their attorney's fees and costs. We, the jury, find that the standard charged for the assessment of attorney's fees and costs have been met. Yes, it's checked. Reasonable attorney's fees and costs to be awarded by the judge at a later date. Initialed by juror number 1. And the last page.
So he has to pay the attorney's fees too.
This is order from CCP and CCP. Do not go to Infowars.com.
The most racist fucking ad that I've ever seen.
Emotional distress damages, past and future, $30 million. Yeah! Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff David Wheeler and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $55 million. Yeah! Initials.
Never said their name, don't know who they are.
To plaintiff Francine Wheeler, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $24 million.
Yeah.
B, emotional distress damages past and future, $30 million.
Yeah.
Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Francine Wheeler.
Bankruptcy court said we need about $500,000 the next year. We can for 2 years appeal this. We're not going anywhere. Nuclear World probably on the show before that, unfortunately. But keep us in attack formation. Infowarsstore.com, saveinfowars.com, promo code 1776. Woo! She said, you didn't add decimals here. I can't wait to actually love this. This is such a joke. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Well, we're awaiting the verdict where the jury was already told that I was guilty in Connecticut in the show trial. And I told people, despite the fact they were out 4 or 5 days, look for a giant $1 billion verdict. They asked for $8.25 billion just on one of their fake counts. No one even said Adam Lanza's name. It was all me. I killed the kids, all the rest of it. This is how desperate the establishment is. I am so honored to have this happening. So we're waiting while the judge sent the jury back out because they didn't put decibels on how many billion I'm supposed to give.
Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B.
Mineral Fusion, get X3.
Reasonable damages to plaintiff William Aldenberg and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $90 million. Initials by juror number 1.
Take years. There's caps on almost all of this. This is just completely, absolutely made up. And now the Democratic Party run, CNN bought it years ago, literally.
There's caps on punitive damages. There's no caps on compensatory damages, which is what this jury understood.
I was told that. Drudge Report is just up there celebrating this. They want to scare everybody away from freedom and scare us away from questioning Uvalde and what really happened there, or Parkland or any other event. And guess what? We're not scared and we're not going away. Literally, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can keep them in court for years. I can appeal this stuff. We can stand up against this travesty, against the billions of dollars they want. It's a joke. So please go to InfoWarsStore.com.
Wow.
And get Vitamin Mineral Fusion, get X3.
He really said that shit.
Billions of dollars years. I can literally, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can keep them in court for years. I can appeal this stuff. We can stand up against this travesty, against the billions of dollars they want. It's a joke. So please go to InfoWarsStore.com. You're going to stand up. Flood us with donations. Will. Schroyer is going to take over with the War Room. I'll be back with Steve Quayle, Robert Barnes, and so many other big guests.
Literally just you begging for fucking money, Alex. That's all it is. You piece of fucking shit. You know what? He's right, though. He can keep them in fucking court for fucking years, decades. They might not, some of them might not live to see the fucking money, seeing as how old they are. But man, god damn it. It's the fucking world we live in, though.
Years, I can literally, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can keep them in court for years. I can appeal this stuff. We can stand up against this travesty.